I'll recite the pranam mantra again. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasaya Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Shramaniti Namane Namaste Sarvati Deve Gauravari Pacharane Nivishesha Sunyavari Paskajade Satarane. So today is a day full of nectar. It's a very nectarine pastime, the ocean of milk. And so today we are discussing the all-auspicious appearance of the goddess of fortune. Hariva. I'll begin with just to give the context. It's all relishable, you know. If it's not relishable, we're sick. Go Govinda. This is not today's verse. Today's verse is on the board. We'll get there, don't worry. But first we have to bathe in the ocean of milk nectar. So we're starting with the 8th verse, but today's verse 19. So we have a lot of nectar to go, 11 verses to go. Hey, but taking a bath in the ocean of milk is all auspicious. So this section is describing the Abhishek of the goddess of fortune when she appears. So we are so fortunate that we have direct association with the goddess of fortune here, Radharani. So wonderfully beautiful. So starting with the 8th verse, Tatash Chavir Bhav Tu Shakshach Shri Rama Bhagavat Para Ranjayanti Disha Kantya Vidut Shodamani Yata. So the goddess of fortune manifested directly. She's known as Rama to differentiate from Balaram Rama. No, but for the goddess of fortune, the accent is on the last syllable, Rama. Yes? The word for word is very sweet. Bhagavad Para means absolutely inclined to be possessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very nice. Lanjayanti, illuminating all directions. Disha. Kantya, by her luster. Vidyut, lightning. Sudamani, like a lightning illuminating a marble mountain. So, just before her, the Apsaras had come out of the ocean of milk. So this is a grand Mahotsava, Maha Mahotsava, you know. Everybody's there. the demons are there, the devas are there, everybody's there. Then there appeared the goddess of fortune, Rama, who is absolutely dedicated to being enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She appeared like electricity surpassing the lightning. That might illuminate a marble mountain. So she is known as Shri. She is all opulence. Text 9. Because of her exquisite beauty, her bodily features, her youth, her complexion, and her glories, everyone, including the demigods, the demons, and human beings, desired her. So Prabhupada is explaining, later Prabhupada is explaining that this is a problem. Even the devas want to enjoy, and they forget who the goddess of fortune belongs to. They forget, they get covered. That's not Yoga Maya, that's Mahamaya. They get covered over by their own desire to enjoy. So here it's admitted that when I see the goddess of fortune, everyone wants to enjoy her. Her youth, her complexion, her glories. Everyone, including the demigods, the demons, and the human beings, desired her. So everyone wants Lakshmi. Here in India, it's sort of funny. Lakshmi, Lakshmi plumbers, Lakshmi tour buses. You've seen. So the problem is they want to enjoy Lakshmi without Narayan. Why don't they say Lakshmi Narayan plumbers? No. I haven't seen Lakshmi Narayan tour buses. Have you seen? Only Lakshmi tour buses. See, all Indians know about, and they show the picture of the gold coins falling out of the hand of the goddess of fortune. And that's what they're after. Sorry, folks, you aren't going to see any paper money coming out of her hands. She's too high class. She's the ultimate high class lady in the universe. All other goddesses are ultimately expanded from her. For example, Parvati is just her tiny partial expansion. You don't know? Parvati is a tiny expansion of Radhika. So, when in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prakriti Kriyamanani, he's claiming ownership of the material energy. I am that. So here, Bhagavad is saying that Krishna is the owner of the goddess of fortune. The material energy, same statement as Bhagavad Gita. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is talking in codes. It doesn't mention that goddess of fortune by name, but Prakriti means the material energy is feminine. So these are his energies. His energies, Prakriti. So I'll read this again because it's all nectar. Because of her exquisite beauty, her bodily features, her youth, her complexion, and her glories, everyone, including the demigods, the demons, and the human beings, desired her. They were attracted because she is the source of all opulences. Of course, in South India, everybody is worshipping Lakshmi Narayan. At least they know not to worship Lakshmi without Narayan. They know that. But your average Hindu has forgotten. The purpose of this movement is to remind people Lakshmi Narayan. Of course, Tribhanga Govinda is beyond Narayan, the very source of Narayan. Now he's described all the paraphernalia offered to the goddess of fortune when she appears out of the ocean of milk. The king of heaven, Indra, brought a suitable sitting place for the goddess of fortune. All the rivers of sacred water, such as the Ganga and Jamuna, personify themselves. Each of them, they brought pure water and golden water pots for Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. This is really a royal Mahamahotsava, the best of Abhisheks. This is just a warm-up. They're getting ready for her Abhishek. Just like, but this is not a brass or marble deity. She's there in person. So, Abhishek Chanika, all the paraphernalia required for installing the deity. So, they're worshipping as a deity. Bhumi, the land, Aharat collected Sakala, all kinds of drugs and herbs. The cows, they supplied pancha, the panchagabya. Milk, yogurt, that is paneer, dahi, ghee, all this is coming from the cows. Cow dung and cow urine. The Sanskrit word is pavitrani, uncontaminated. Also personifies springtime, Vasanta, was there. Madhu Madhava, flowers and fruits produced during spring. The land became a person and collected all the drugs and herbs needing for installing the deity. The cows delivered 5 products, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, urine, and cow dung, panchagabya. And spring personified collected everything produced in spring during the month of Chaitra and Vaishakha, that's April and May, so the best part of spring. Text 12. Rishaya, the great sages, Kopayam, Chakru, executed Abhishekam, the goddess of the Abhishek ceremony, which is required during the installation of the deity. So they're installing her. But she's live, she's not brass or marble. Of course, we accept that Radharani is not an idol. Pure Vaishnavas must be the opposite of the Hindu conception. You ask low-grade Kanista, be lower than Kanista Hindu. Have you been to the temple? Yes, yes, I've seen the idols. I have seen the idols, yes, yes. All right, fine. So for you, they'll be marble. We don't expect a glorious result. If the deity is only marble for you, well, you're missing the boat. You have to be a madman to say that Radharani is marble. Completely insane. Look, any fool can see she's a person. Here's Neela Madhava, he's a guest of honor today. If I have time left, I'll tell you the Neela Madhava story. It's beyond belief, but it's a true story. Now we'll continue the Bhagvatam. So, Yathavidi, all the Brahmins, they're chanting Vedic authorized scriptures. Jagu, they're chanting Vedic mantras. Bhadrani, for all good fortune. Gandharva, and the inhabitants of Gandharva Loka. Naturally, they're singing very nicely. Natya, the women who were professional dancers. It wasn't like this material world. Nowadays, what they call dancing is just like worms. I've seen some videos. I mean, really, why should they be in the... I've seen videos, there are, Bollywood films, just like a jar full of worms in the darkness. And they're sliding around together, body to body in the darkness, and they call it dance? Sorry. You want to call it a dance? Become a worm. What is this nonsense? You become a worm in a dark place. You take a worm out of a pile of stool and put it in the light. You put it into the light. Does it consider that you're doing it a favor? No way. Hey, what are you doing? I was enjoying very nicely sliding around with all these other worms. The video, I saw one Hollywood film. Unbelievable how they're just sliding against you. They're so-called human beings. Worms, not human beings. Well, the music, pop music on, boom, chicka, 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 boom, chicka, boom, chicka, chicka, boom, chicka, chicka. That's not human life. Nowhere close to human life. But these ladies, professional dancers, first class, non-truta, non-ritu, very nicely danced on the occasion. That's culture. That's civilization. And others, they're singing Jagu, authorized songs prescribed in the Vedas. See, authorized songs. I'm sorry, I don't want to disappoint anybody. They weren't chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Beautiful lyrical songs, sweet, nectarine. You guys who sing, you have to learn how to sing sweetly. That's what Prabhupada wants. That's what Prabhupada brought this movement. He never, you play me a recording of Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You do that. I challenge all you and everybody on YouTube. Play me a recording. I'll listen of Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. But you're all chanting like this. It's not authorized. That's not authorized songs prescribed in the Vedas. We're supposed to move into this Vaikuntha realm. We're not supposed to stay in this dirty material world. You know, Srila Prabhupada was very expert at paraphrasing Krishna. In other words, he talks on behalf of Krishna. Nitya Swadota devotee could do that. Maybe we can't do that, but Nitya Swadota devotee can do like that. So he's talking on behalf of Krishna. Madana Gopal. Prabhupada is giving voice to him. This is for real. This is a direct quote. Try to imagine for a minute that you could hear Madhurya Gopal's voice as quoted by Srila Prabhupada. Give up your dirty dance and come dance with me. You like that idea? Who could imagine going and dancing with Madhurya Gopal? Prabhupada is inviting. Give up your dirty dance and come dance with Krishna. No more no more. Leave it behind. So we're supposed to take up this wonderful Krishna consciousness. So great sages perform the bathing ceremony of the goddess of fortune as directed in the authorized scriptures. So our society and other Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they're nicely, in many cases, they're nicely following the parampara for Abhishek. Nice. This is going on nicely. That's very pleasing. And many devotees, I don't know if many is the right word, but quite a few devotees around the world now chanting nice mantra. Like in Punjabi Bhagas, Padasevika. He's a hardcore pujari and he chants lots of nice Vedic mantras. That's if you are young guys, temporarily. But in your lifetime, you will see how so many those little babies are coming up like popcorn now. Some of them are very effulgent. Some of them are very effulgent, you know. And they will learn so many Vedic mantras, and they will chant Vedic mantras at all these jagnas and mahotsavas. You will see, it'll be a way of life by the time you're my age. You've got more than 40 years to go yet. You'll be amazed to see how much changes there are. Upgrade. I'll be watching from Goloka Vrindavan. So, the Gandharvas chanted all auspicious Vedic mantras. And the professional women dancers very nicely danced and sang authorized songs prescribed in the Vedas. Try to download that, please. We are meant to bring alive pure Vedic culture, not introduce concoction. Of course, your generation, the problem is you've been polluted by sahajas. Look, I'm supposed to be sannyasi. Duty of sannyasi is to tell it as is. You don't even know it. I know it. You don't know. Because why? Because I was on the planet when Prabhupada was on the planet. I heard the way kirtan was when Prabhupada was on the planet. The recordings are available. Agni Dev is still around. He was one of the chief chanters in those days. Bhadurgarh is still around. But you don't know him. He's the artist that made the original cover on the Bhagavad Gita with the beautiful white horses and Krishna driving the chariot and Arjuna. That's a famous painting by Bhadurgarh, my godbrother. In the 1970s, he was a prominent kirtanier. This was long before the this was long before the era of Vrindavan 24-hour kirtan. There was another era before that when Prabhupada was physically on the planet. There are very less recordings available, but you should try to listen to the sweet recordings. But oftentimes, my godbrothers, they're singing the way it used to be sung in the 70s. Lokanath Swami, Bibi Govinda Swami, Indrajima Swami, Radhanath Swami, they tend to sing the old-fashioned way. Of course, being surrounded by passionate young men, sometimes they will slide into the Hare Krishna monotone. But mostly they all sing perfect, beautiful way it was when Prabhupada was on the planet. Because that's the way we were trained. By Jagat Guru's Divine Vice Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. We were trained like they didn't fall out of the sky. We were trained like that's what Prabhupada wants, present tense. Please download that. Text 13. Then the clouds personified, they show up. This is far out stuff. The clouds personified, they're playing mridanga drums, and panava means kettle drums. Maraja is another type of drum they're playing. Anaka, another type of drum. And bugles are being blown. Gokuma is a type of bugle. So we see in the paintings the bugles. At the time of Mahaprabhu also. Somehow or other, we're not using in ISKCON. We should have them in ISKCON. It's very parampara. We see the paintings of Mahaprabhu's Leela. They're having those bugles. We should introduce them. Maybe Nityananda Ashraya can introduce. But it's very rarely. Malati plays the trumpet. Do you know that? She plays the trumpet, but I think it's frowned upon for her to play the trumpet in public. So there's Vyamana Dayan, vibrating of conch shells, conch shells, Venu flutes, Veena stringed instruments. Altogether, this made a tumultuous sound. But it was not like a ISKCON Kirtan, I assure you. No, sometimes ISKCON Kirtans are nice, you know. Don't get me wrong. But if it's, you know, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, it was not like that. High class, cultured, authorized Vedic. We have to come back to that. Otherwise, if we cannot come back to that, our movement has failed. Please young guys. Please download that. You want to see this movement? So, the clouds, who can believe? The clouds in personified form, they're reading various types of drums, known as mridangas, panavas, morajas, and anakas. I don't think we have these kind of drums available. They also blew conch shells and bugles known as gumukas, and played flutes and stringed instruments. The combined sound of these instruments was tumultuous. Haribo! So that kind of tumultuous we like, not shouting. Oh, this was all a very beautiful sound. There was no question of shouting. Text 14. Thereafter, Abhishichu, they pour out all varieties of auspicious water on the body of Devi, on the goddess of fortune. Shriyam, very beautiful, with the lotus, Padma Karam, with the lotus in her hand. Satyam, she who is most chaste, not knowing anyone but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Digiba, the great elephants. Purna Kalashai, completely full of water. So, Sukta Vaikyai, with Vedic mantras by Brahmanas, chanting. Thereafter, the great elephants from all directions carried big jugs full of Ganga water and bathed the goddess of fortune. To the accompaniment of Vedic mantras chanted by the Brahmanas. While being thus bathed, the goddess of fortune maintained her original style. High class lady, in other words. With a lotus flower in her hand, she appeared very beautiful. The goddess of fortune is the most chaste, for she does not know anyone but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So she has 6 opulences: wealth, strength, influence, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. These opulences are received from the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi is addressed here as Devi, the goddess.
लक्ष्मी जी को यहाँ पर देवी कहा गया है
Because in Vaikuntha, she applies all opulences to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees.
लोक में भगवान तथा उनके भक्तों को सारे ऐश्वर्य प्रदान करती हैं
In this way, who enjoy natural life in the Vaikuntha planets.
जिससे वे लोग वहाँ का प्राकृतिक जीवन बिताते हैं
Natural life, we can't imagine.
प्राकृतिक जीवन के बारे में हम सोच भी नहीं सकते
No buses,
ऐसे कोई बसेस नहीं थी
no airplanes. I mean, no mundane air-polluting airplanes.
कोई ऐसा प्रदूषण करने वाला हवाई जहाज नहीं था
These jet airplanes are big-time air polluters.
ये जो जेट ये हवाई जहाज होते हैं ये बहुत ही प्रदूषण
But they call it advancement.
या इसको
Well, I have this dictionary called Word. You know, I have a dictionary in my computer.
वो उसको आधुनिकता कहते हैं तो मेरे
It's freeware.
एक डिक्शनरी है
Nice program. It's a good dictionary.
तो ये डिक्शनरी है वो अच्छा है प्रोग्राम को आप अपने पास ले सकते हैं
From time to time, it asks, how often do you fly?
समय समय पे पूछता रहता है कि आप कितना जल्दी उड़ते हैं
The first time they asked that question, I thought they liked the idea of frequent flyers.
तो जब मैंने पहली बार ये प्रश्न देखा तो मुझे लगा कि इन लोगों को फ्रीक्वेंट फ्लायर्स
But then I found out the hard way, the opposite.
तब मेरे को पता चला कि नहीं इसके विपरीत ही परिस्थिति है
So I learned that I had to say I fly only 2 times a year.
तो मैंने उसमें उसको बताया कि मैं सिर्फ 2 बार
Because they say
उड़ता हूँ
jet airplanes are the worst air polluters in the world.
जेट एयरवेज में उनको बताया था कि वो सबसे ज़्यादा प्रदूषण
And they're
फैलाते हैं
environmentalists. I didn't know that.
जबकि वह एक एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट है जो कि मुझे
And the next time around, I knew, I said twice a year. They're okay with that.
अगली बार जो है मैंने उनको बताया 2
Point is,
साल में 2 बार
they're flying in swan planes. There's no air pollution.
तो वहाँ पे वो जो है स्वान के हवाई जहाज में
So
होते हैं।
therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, natural life in the Vaikuntha planets.
इसीलिए श्रील प्रभुपाद कह रहे हैं वो प्राकृतिक जीवन बिताते हैं वैकुंठ जगत में
Text 15.
श्लोक 15
The ocean, which is the source of all valuable jewels.
समस्त बहुमूल्य रत्नों के स्तोत्र समुद्र
That's interesting because this fact is unknown today.
ये बहुत ही रोमांचित है क्यों क्योंकि यह तथ्य बहुत ही कम लोगों को पता है
Generally, they go mining in the mountains for valuable gems,
साधारण तरीके से वह
like diamonds in the rough. You know,
वह खोदने पृथ्वी को खोदने जाते हैं ताकि वो डायमंड और इस प्रकार के
but geologists know those areas that they're mining. They used to be underwater.
लेकिन पहले जो है ये जो जहाँ पे वह ऐसा खोद रहे हैं वह पहले पानी के अंदर
There are seashells and other signs that those mountains used to be underwater.
तो वहाँ पे अभी भी शंख और ये सब मौजूद है जो बताते हैं कि वह
So they may be
पानी के अंदर दबा हुआ है।
taking the gems in the rough, uncut, you know, they're in the rough,
तो वो वहाँ से जो है ऐसे ऐसा
from the mountains.
कर रहे हैं।
But those mountains used to be underwater.
लेकिन वहाँ जो पहाड़ है वो उस समय पानी के नीचे
Otherwise, why are seashells there?
नहीं तो वहाँ पे ऐसे सीशेल क्यों मौजूद होते हैं
Well, it's described that pushed up, the land pushed up. It was
वो
everything
बाहर निकल गई
during the great pralaya, you know, pralaya,
प्रलय के समय पे आपको प्रलय पता है
the huge flood that inundates the whole universe
ये बहुत ही बड़ी बाढ़ होती है जो पूरे ब्रह्मांड को ढक
up to
देती है
Brahmaloka.
ब्रह्मलोक तक सब पूरे ब्रह्मांड को ढक देती है
Then the water goes down and the mountains push up.
फिर जब वो पानी नीचे आता है तो ये पहाड़ ऊपर निकलता है
That's how we got what we see today.
तो इसीलिए हमें जो आज दिखता है वो हमें
So the ocean is source of all valuable gems.
तो समस्त बहुमूल्य रत्नों का स्रोत समुद्र है
And they also supplied portions of yellow silk garment,
उन्होंने ऊपर तथा नीचे के भाग के लिए पीले रेशमी वस्त्र प्रदान किए
the predominating deity of the water,
जल के प्रधान देवता वरुण ने फूलों की मालाएं प्रदान की
surrounded by 6-legged bumblebees,
जिनके चारों ओर मधु पिए हुए मस्त हुए भौरे
drunk,
उड़ा रहे थे
drunken with honey.
मधु पिए
Most probably these are Vajjayanti garlands. I think the name is Vajjayanti.
तो वो जो है वैगन की
Six.
माला पहने हुए थी।
6 different kinds of flowers.
6 अलग-अलग प्रकार के जो उसमें फूल रहते हैं।
And quite a few places out throughout the Shastras described how the bumblebees are buzzing around the garlands because they're very sweet.
बहुत अन्य-अन्य जगह पे शास्त्रों में बता रखा है कि जो मधुमक्खियाँ होती हैं,
No,
ये उन
no, no.
माला के चारों ओर घूमती रहती है, तो ये बहुत सुंदर
No plastic flowers in those days.
कोई प्लास्टिक के फूल नहीं हुआ करते थे उन दिनों में,
No cellulose flowers either.
और सेल्यूलोज के भी फूल नहीं हुआ करते थे।
Nowadays, we have a ritual. Devotees dutifully pass around a cellulose flower.
आजकल जो है सेल्यूलोज के फूल बहुत लोग आजकल अपने
Has no scent, but the devotee with the plate dutifully pass around. Everybody takes a sniff, but there's no scent.
तो सभी जने जो है अपने ये सब तो बांटते हैं तो सब सुनने के लिए, लेकिन उसमें कुछ खुशबू नहीं होती है सेल्यूलोज के।
But they call it progress. So you teach in your university.
तो वो इसको आधुनिकता कहते हैं, इसीलिए आप अपने
Is that real progress? You call that progress?
अपने विश्वविद्यालय में जाके बताइए कि क्या आप इसको आधुनिकता कहते हैं?
Mr. Engineer, that's your generic engineering. Baba, own it.
इंजीनियर आप हैं, इंजीनियर तो आपका ये ना काम है जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग, तो आप इसको
Flowers today have no scent because of your generic engineering.
तो जो आज के फूल है उनका बिल्कुल भी खुशबू नहीं है क्योंकि ये आपके जेनेटिक
Confront them. That is not advancement. That's not civilization.
यह कोई आधुनिकता नहीं है, यह कोई civilization
Everything going backwards.
तो सब जो है पीछे जा रहा है।
Even, I've seen much to my dismay, even flowers that Prabhupada liked so much. Gardenias. He loved gardenias so much.
गार्डनिया ये जो फूल होते हैं प्रभुपाद जी को बहुत पसंद थे।
First time I saw Srila Prabhupada, he was wearing at least 4 large gardenia garlands. Gardenias that size aren't even available anymore.
तो ये गार्डनिया जो फूल हैं प्रभुपाद जी ने ऐसी 4 मालाएं पहन रखी थी वो।
They were this big around. That means,
फूल होता था और आजकल तो शायद वो
what is that? 8 centimeters? Is that 8 centimeters? 10 centimeters? 10 centimeters in diameter and super fragrant.
और 8 सेंटीमीटर 10 सेंटीमीटर का उसका जो
But
diameter था वो बहुत
those days are over.
बहुत ही अच्छी सुगंध थी उसकी।
Progress, engineering,
ये एकदम खराब इंजीनियरिंग,
civilization, greatest ever. Not.
तो ये समाज जो है बिल्कुल भी ऐसा नहीं कि प्रगति कर रहा है।
If it's the greatest civilization ever, then why you engineers are taking the scent out of flowers? Why?
तो ये सबसे अच्छा समाज अगर होता प्रगति कर रहा होता तो ऐसा क्यों है कि
So that's not progress.
तो यह प्रगति नहीं है।
But all throughout the Shastra, the garlands of Lord Vishnu and Krishna, they're not surrounded. The bumblebees are going inside the garlands.
तो अलग-अलग जो शास्त्र में बता रहा है कि इस प्रकार जो है मधुमक्खियाँ भगवान विष्णु के माला के अंदर जाती हैं।
But bumblebees are black and yellow, chubby bees. Chubby.
तो वो जो मधुमक्खियाँ हैं वह थोड़ी मोटी होती हैं।
They're not like hornets or sting bees. They're harmless.
तो वो जो है डंक नहीं मारती।
So next, Vishvakarma, one of the Prajapatis, supplied varieties of decorated ornaments.
फिर प्रजापति विश्वकर्मा ने तरह-तरह के अलंकृत आभूषण दिए।
The goddess of learning, Saraswati, supplied a necklace.
विद्या की देवी सरस्वती ने गले का हार,
Lord Brahma supplied a lotus flower,
ब्रह्मा जी ने कमल का फूल,
and the inhabitants of Nagaloka supplied earrings.
तथा नाग लोगों के वासियों ने कान के कुंडल प्रदान किए।
So the goddess of fortune is known by all the residents of the universe. Nagaloka is way down below us.
और भाग्य की देवी सभी जगह प्रसिद्ध है।
Snakes.
जो सबसे बहुत ही नीचे उपस्थित
Snakes.
है, वहाँ सांप रहते हैं।
But they seem to have some regard for the goddess of fortune.
और वह भी जो है ये फूल लेके आए थे।
Sometimes the Nagas are shown wearing crowns.
तो नागों को बताया जाता है कि बहुत सुंदर उन्होंने मुकुट पहन रखा होता है।
So they're not ordinary snakes, not garden snakes.
तो वो कोई सामान्य सांपों के तरह नहीं है जो बगीचों में घूमते रहते हैं।
But we prefer human form of life on this planet is more auspicious.
लेकिन ये जो मनुष्य देह प्राप्ति है इस धारा पे यह बहुत ही पावन है।
Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are taking place here, present tense.
क्योंकि चैतन्य महाप्रभु की लीलाएं अभी भी यहाँ पे चल रही हैं।
I don't think he went down to Nagaloka,
मुझे नहीं लगता कि वह नागलोक तक गए होंगे।
but his chanting went down there.
लेकिन उनका जो कीर्तन है वह नीचे तक गया है।
Next verse. Thereafter, Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, having been properly celebrated with auspicious ritualistic ceremony, began moving about, holding her hand a garland of lotus flowers.
तत्पश्चात शुभ अनुष्ठान द्वारा पूजित माता लक्ष्मी कमल पुष्पों की माला हाथ में लेकर इधर-उधर विचरण करने लगी।
Of course, when a goddess of fortune is moving about, she's even more beautiful.
और जब भाग्य की देवी जब चल रही होती है तो वो और सुंदर लगती है।
Demons go insane because they lust over the goddess of fortune.
और जो असुर होते हैं वो एकदम पागल हो जाते हैं क्योंकि वह इतनी कामों की इच्छाएं रखते हैं।
Well, that's why they're trying to accumulate all the money in the world.
इसीलिए वो इतना अपना धनराशि इकट्ठा करते हैं।
Actually, lusting over the goddess of fortune.
क्योंकि वह कामों की इच्छाएं रखते हैं भाग्य की देवी पर।
In the Bhagvatam also we see that when Mohini Murti appeared,
भागवतम में हम देखेंगे कि जब
she was
मोहिनी आई
so beautiful, so beautiful.
वो इतनी सुंदर थी, इतनी सुंदर थी।
The demons completely lost their cool.
और जो असुर थे वो बिल्कुल अपने
She was very clever. When she had the pot of nectar in her hands, after
ये दो बेटे जो असुर थे और जब उन्होंने देखा कि उनके हाथ में एक अमृत का घड़ा था,
so she said, "Now I'm going to distribute this pot of nectar."
तब मोहिनी मूर्ति ने कहा अब मैं यह अमृत सबको बांटने वाली हूँ।
She says, "I may not be fair in how I distribute it." She, out front, she tells the
तो
demons,
पहले ही बोल देती है कि मैं भले ही सबको सामान्य
I might not be fair in how I distribute it. So she starts pouring it only into the mouths of the, she starts anointing only the devas.
तो वह जो है देवताओं के मुख में वह अमृत देने लगी।
But Rahu disguised himself as a deva,
जो राहु था वह एक देवता की तरह बैठ गया वहाँ।
and he sat down in the row of devas because
देवताओं के मध्य बैठ
as
गया।
he wanted to be immortal.
और वह भी अमृत में प्राप्त जीवन प्राप्त करना चाहता था।
But the moon and sun, they recognized who he was. Hey,
और जो सूर्य और चंद्रमा थे वह पहचान गए कि यह कौन
this
है?
rogue cheater, our enemy, get him out of here.
यह धूर्त ये हमारा दुश्मन है इसको बाहर निकालिए।
But she had already poured some of the nectar of immortality into his mouth.
कुछ अमृत जो है वो पहले से गिरा दिया था उनके मुख में।
But on the plea of the moon and the sun,
लेकिन जब उन्होंने निवेदन किया सूर्य और चंद्रमा ने,
she cut off his head
उन्होंने अपना गला काट दिया।
with a disc. I mean, she is Lord Vishnu, you know.
एक चक्र से आपका उसका गला काट दिया क्योंकि वो स्वयं भगवान विष्णु।
So since the head had already drunk the nectar of immortality,
तो उन्होंने जो है वह अमृत में उसका पान किया था।
it is the head of Rahu that's floating in outer space.
तो
You know
ये
that?
राहु का जो सर है वह इधर-उधर
The rest of his body was killed. So the planet we call Rahu, which tends to wreak a lot of havoc in this world, it's only the head of Rahu, because Mohini Murti, she cut off the rest of the body.
तो ये जो ग्रह जिसके हम बारे में बात करते हैं राहु, ये उनका सिर्फ मुख है क्योंकि जो मोहिनी मूर्ति थी उन्होंने उनका नीचे का देह काट दिया।
So she was extremely. Now verse 18.
अब हम 18वें श्लोक पर आएंगे।
Her two breasts, which were symmetrical and nicely situated.
उनके संतुलित तथा सुस्थित दोनों स्तन।
Don't blame me. This is Srimad Bhagavatam.
तो आप चौंकिए नहीं, ये श्रीमद् भागवतम है।
It's not me. It's Bhagavad Purana.
ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा, ये भागवत पुराण में बोल रहा है।
There's 80,000 sages at Naimisharanyashu. They're relisting hearing about this, you know.
वहाँ 80,000 नैमिषारण्य में ऐसे ऋषिगण मौजूद थे।
We have to come to the point where we can hear such things without becoming agitated.
हमें उस स्तर पे आना होगा जब हम इन चीजों को
So,
समझेंगे।
her two breasts, which are symmetrical and nicely situated,
उनकी संतुलित अशुद्ध दोनों स्पर्श
were covered with sandalwood pulp and kumkum powder.
चंदन तथा कुमकुम चूर्ण से लेपित थे।
Her waist was very thin.
उनकी कमर अत्यंत पतली थी।
There are many descriptions in the Bhagvatam like this
ऐसे बहुत सारे वर्णन
of beautiful women. I was in Calcutta and I told them, don't read rubbish novels.
मैं जब कलकत्ता में था तो मैंने उनको बोला कि आप ये
Just read Srimad Bhagavatam, everything you want to know. If you want to hear about sex, you want to hear about beautiful women, you want to hear about powerful weapons, interstellar war, it's all there.
अगर आप सुनना चाहते हैं स्त्रियों के बारे में, मैथुन के बारे में, जो ऐसे शस्त्रों के बारे में भी, तो भी आप श्रीमद् भागवतम पढ़िए।
The daily book distribution scores for Calcutta are pathetic.
और जो रोज के जो पुस्तक वितरण का आंकड़ा है कलकत्ता का वो बहुत खराब है।
There were 800 people from congregation. It was a congregation mela.
और 800 भक्त थे वहाँ congregation में।
That day I took pledges for 30 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. 30 sets.
और मैंने वहाँ हम सब से वादा किया कि 30
I didn't even have any Bhagavatams there to show off, you know.
30 भागवतम का मैंने उनसे वादा किया। मेरे पास उस समय भागवतम दिखाने के लिए भी नहीं था।
One man of the audience jumped up. He said, I'll give 500 rupees towards anybody that makes a pledge today for a Bhagavatam set.
तो वो एक जो है और जो वहाँ बैठे थे उनमें से एक व्यक्ति खड़ा हुआ बोला कि मैं 500 रुपए दूंगा उस व्यक्ति को जो यहाँ वादा करता है भागवतम।
So I pointed out these people about how these descriptions of beautiful women are in the Bhagavatam.
तो मैंने उस समय इसका भी जो है वर्णन किया था कि किस प्रकार भागवतम बताता है।
As she walked here and there, her ankle bells jingled softly.
भागवतम किस प्रकार मेरे मन में आता है मैंने बताया था।
She appeared like a creeper of gold.
जब वो इधर-उधर चलती तो उनके पायल मन छंकार करते थे और वे सोने की किसी लता के समान लगती।
Today's verse is 19.
आज का वर्ष 19वां है।
Vilokayanti Niravadyam Atmana Param Druvang Chavya Sadgunan Gandharva Siddhasura Yaksha Charana Tripishta Payadishu Nanva Vindata Vilokayanti Niravayadam Atmana Param Drivuvam Chavyabhirachi Sadgunam Gandharva Siddhasura Yakshacharana Tripishtapeya Nanvavindato Vilokayanti Niravayam Atmana Pandam Drivam Shavya Birachi Sadgunam Gandharva Siddhasa Yakshacharana Tripistapa Yedistu Nanvavina Datata Next. Louder. So, while walking among the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, and Siddhas, Charnas, and Andesanas of heaven, Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, was scrutinizingly examining them.
गंधर्वों, यक्ष, असुरों, सिद्धों, चारणों तथा स्वर्गलोक के वासियों के बीच विचरण करती हुई भाग्य की देवी अर्थात लक्ष्मी देवी उन सब का निरीक्षण कर रही थी.
So the Leela is that she's looking for a husband. So all these powerful men, devas, asuras, all very beautiful, big mustachio, gold crown, jewels, everything, weapons. She was scrutinizingly examining them. But she could not find anyone naturally endowed with all good qualities. None of them were devoid of faults. Therefore, she could not take shelter of any of them. So, the goddess of fortune, Prabhupada's comments, was generated from the ocean of milk, was the daughter of the ocean. Thus she was allowed to select her own husband in a Swayamvara ceremony. Special, this is a special Swayamvara, not ordinary Swayamvara. This was typical in the days of yore. The devas and demons, when there was some beautiful woman, unmarried woman, then the devas and the asuras, they would show up at the Swayamvara. Even Sita Devi's Swayamvara. The demons also came. Ravana makes a great play. We used to do a wonderful play in Los Angeles. They had a big bow, and they show Ravana coming out. Then, because he is so powerful, none of the devas could defeat him. So, first he took his baby finger and put it underneath the bow. Nothing. Didn't budge, didn't move. He's taken aback. Then he takes one hand, all right. One hand. Nothing. Then he has to take two hands. He could not lift it. Then you all know that Ram came, not only lifted it, he broke it. So devas and asuras, they'd show up at these Swayamvaras. But goddess of fortune could not find anyone, in other words, except for Narayan, the natural husband of the Lakshmi, could not be, superseded. You have the word there. Superseded, cannot be surpassed by anyone in this material world. So we've run out of time. I'll have to tell the Neelamadhava story.